So moving on to the 10th hole, par 5, and this was into the wind and left to right. After missing the last couple of shots a little bit to the right, I was a bit wary because there is trouble down the right hand side. I picked driver and I put a really good swing on this. If it wasn't into the wind, I'd probably hit 3-wood or 5-wood because you can run out of room and get a little blocked. I had 222 yards to the flag here, a little bit hidden by the trees on the right, and about 210 to get to the front edge, playing into the wind, and I hit an absolutely gorgeous 5-wood. Little bit of sauce here with a club twirl afterwards. Really nice starting at the centre of the green and just drifting back into the middle of the green. I'd always favour the left-hand edge here. So I left myself about 25-30 foot here after a really solid second shot, and this was pretty straight, little bit up the hill. Put a really nice stroke on it, so trying to again work on rhythm, got it up hole side and it just squeezed past the lip, but the easiest of birdie fours and getting me one more under par. Moving on, one of my favourite holes on the course. So this is a fairly long par 4, but was playing straight downwind today. So I pulled 3-wood just with the thought that driver might run out of room. You've got to thread it between the trees here, got to just hit a quality shot, and I put a great swing on this, hitting it just up the left-hand side of the fairway. And it was always in the fairway, but not that far away from the trees on the left. So squeezed past those, I put myself in a good position heading into the green for the next shot. 135 was the yardage, a little bit again downwind, and I hit my gap wedge. That's a 130 yard club. The flag was right at the front, so you don't want to be short on this one. I thought if I can get this 10 foot past the pin, that's a good safe shot. I put a really nice golf swing on this one, and it went slightly right at the pin and slightly past it, where I expected it to end up. I left myself about 10-12 feet down the hill, not much break at all in this, so just had to put a decent stroke on it and keep it within the realms of the hole. Put a great stroke on it and rolled it straight into the middle of the hole for another birdie, getting me to 4 under par. So the 12th hole, one of the hardest par 3s you'll ever play. This was playing 200 yards into the wind, and as you can see, there is not a lot of room to fit your golf ball. So I hit 4-iron here, which is about a 205, 210 carry club, and I absolutely nutted this at the heart of the green, just with a tiny little bit of fade, and with the pin back right. I thought this was going to be quite close, but really happy to get that ball on the green on a tough par 3. So just went a little bit past the pin, left myself about 15 foot, but again, very makeable, slightly down the hill and a touch from right to left. And as this was rolling down, I really thought I'd made it. It just fell low at the end, but always happy to get a par 3 on this tough hole. So the next 2 holes, very birdieable, under sort of 350. This was 323. It was into and left to right. Got out of bounds up the left and bunkers up the left at about 240. And then up by the green, there is a little copse of trees. So I opted for a positional tee shot here, hit a 4-iron, trying to leave myself around the sort of 100-yard area. 88 yards was the yardage left, so I went with my 58 degree. Thought I hit quite a nice shot actually here, but it bounced pin high and it scooted on, so a little disappointed to see it roll so far away from the hole, but it was safely on the green, gave myself sort of an outside look for birdie. I left myself about 30-35 feet here with a big sweeping right to left and quite severely downhill. Rolled it down hole side, misread it a little bit, had a touch more break than I thought. Left myself about 3 foot and managed to polish it off, no problem. So got the safe par, With a short iron in my hands, I was hoping for a better chance for birdie, but still a good solid putt. So the 14th hole is shorter again, about 290, and very tight. So two big tall trees in the opening of the green. I picked 3-wood here and hit an absolute perler straight at the middle of the green. I thought it had gone to the back of the green, but got up there and it was actually a little closer than first thought. So this was a great little surprise. 3-wood off the tee, got up there. I was about 5 foot away with an arrow straight uphill putt, which is always nice. Good solid stroke, and managed to roll it into the hole for an eagle 2 and move to 6 under par, nosebleed territory. So 15th hole, playing 395, wind left to right and a dogleg right to left. So a tough tee shot. You've got two choices here. You can either try and hit it over the corner of the dogleg, or you can play to the corner of the dogleg and leave yourself a slightly longer shot in. This was not one of my best swings. I caught it a little thin and came out of it a touch and leaked it a touch to the right, trusting for a good lie really in the right hand rough. This is where hitting an iron for safety can get you unstuck sometimes. So because I didn't strike it my best, I left myself a long way in. I had 168 in here, out of quite a jumpy lie. The rough is very thick at Bovey. I had 168 and hit a 7-iron, and it came out like an absolute bullet, straight over the flag, but unfortunately straight over the green and nearly into the long stuff behind. It was going to be a tough up and down from there. So I couldn't see much of this golf ball when I got there. It was deep down in the rough, so obvious I wasn't going to get any spin. I had quite a lot of green to play with, so played a 58 and just tried to chop the legs off it, land it on the front edge of the green and just let it release up. It stopped about 8 foot short, but I was actually quite pleased with that. The putt was downhill, left to right, and I put a great stroke on it, and it was tracking straight in the middle of the hole, but unfortunately fell one roll short, and my first bogey of the day, taking me back to 5 under. So the 16th, another hole where strategy is important. It's only 338, but you could hit driver and get close, but the hole cambers severely right to left, and there is a hedgerow and out of bounds down the left-hand side. With it being back into the wind, I chose to hit a 4-iron up the right-hand edge of the fairway. It's going to leave me a blind second shot, but I was trying to leave myself a kind of a wedge 9-iron in, something like that. So got up to my golf ball, good position in the fairway. I had a little walk up to see where the flag was, and everything cambers in right to left here. So I played a nice little quiet 9-iron from 125 and played just right at the pin, and played it just to kind of feed in from right to left. Really happy with the shot, because I actually had pitching wedge first of all, but I didn't want it to stall, so I went back to the 9 and played it a bit quieter. Could not have had an easier putt here. This was right lip, it was downhill. I really fancied this, and I just didn't hit it hard enough. From the back here, moment I hit it, I knew it was going to be short. That was frustrating, because it was a very good look at birdie. Such a good look. Fucking hell. So if you've not played Bovey before, this is a hole that you really need to know where you're going. There's a marker post up on the top of the hill, which looks quite a long way to the left. I've started this at that and turned it about 25 yards to the left, and that got me into the middle of the fairway. I hit 5-wood off the tee to put myself into position. So it just goes to show how fiery Bovey Castle can be at times. I was expecting to have about 80 yards and I actually had 55. I was trying to land this with 58 just on the front. Struck it nicely, but a little heavy-handed. Landed just short of the flag and rolled about 15 foot past. About 15 foot left, a little bit downhill, a little bit left to right. Wanted to make this after missing the last one. And I put a really, really good stroke on it and it went straight into the middle of the hole. Chuffed to bits. What I wasn't chuffed to bits was the fact that my camera died of battery on that green. So apologies, I didn't get to play the last hole. I did manage to get par. Guys, thanks very much for taking your time to watch this. I hope it was helpful and it'd be great if you could like and subscribe. Many thanks.